of the dorsal fin of Helen as she makes her way around the habitat. If you look at a picture of Hannah's dorsal fin and compare the two photos, you might notice that Hannah's dorsal fin, and take a closer look here, is very triangular, much like a shark's, and she's got even coloration of black and gray. Helen, on the other hand, her dorsal fin is quite curved and pointy at the end, and she has more of a dark coloration. These fingerprints are distinctive. They're a lot like fingerprints, and a great way to tell these animals apart. But, of course, as much as it might be great to see these dolphins off our coast, it's my responsibility to tell you today to maintain and stay and keep a distance away from these dolphins about 100 meters or 400 feet. That's about roughly 10 times the length of the dock here. And it's really, again, for everyone's safety here in, again, Canadian waters. But it is still possible to tell these dolphins apart, even from far away. Because after all, this is an incredibly acrobatic species of dolphin. They are considered to be so if you see any dolphin or any cetacean on the coast of BC engaging in a lot of acrobatics, probably considered white-sided dolphin. The other thing is, though, is that they are very loud. They communicate with each other quite a lot, making some pretty interesting sounds that we might be able to hear here. Let's give these dolphins a round of applause. So if you were to ever hear any of these incredible sounds off the coast of BC, again, we want to hear about it here at the Vancouver Aquarium. Every time you call us when you see one of these animals, you're help adding to the information that researchers need to better protect these incredible animals. And you never know where you might observe a dolphin doing something like this. After all, these Pacific white-sided dolphins have been observed from the ferries between Vancouver and Vancouver Island. Some people have seen these dolphins from the Lionsgate Bridge, even the seawall here in Stanley Park. So there's all kinds of places you might find them, but most recently they've been seen in Indian Arm just about 2 weeks ago, showcasing their amazing lively nature. And of course, this increased number of sightings that we've been getting of the Pacific white-sided dolphins off our coast for the past 8 years or so have been showing us that these dolphins are facing an increased number of threats, be it from boat traffic, oil and gas exploration, fishing nets, and of course we've heard that that is the story of Helen and Hannah here. If you take a look at Helen, you might have noticed that her pectoralis side flippers are a little bit smaller than Hannah's. That's because her fins had to be partially removed in order to save her life. Now, of course, that story is unfortunate, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen to other dolphins out there, and that's why it's important that we are always learning more about how to better protect these dolphins. It's part of our responsibility because these dolphins are facing such an increased number of threats from people. Of course, Helen and Hannah have been acting as ambassadors for their species, helping us to learn more about how we can protect these dolphins through research. Now, they've participated in a lot of research studies over the years, but one of the studies they participated in was a study helping us to better understand how much energy it takes for a dolphin to be a dolphin. After all, as I said, this species is incredibly acrobatic. We see them engaging in these leaps up and down our coast, looking a lot like this, but also their bodies are incredibly streamlined and hydrodynamic. Those torpedo-shaped bodies allow them to travel at incredible speeds, as we see Hannah demonstrating here. These dolphins can reach speeds of around 35 kilometers an hour or 22 miles. So how do the dolphins get all the energy they need to keep leaping and jumping and being so speedy? Well, a couple of years ago, we got these dolphins accustomed to a piece of research equipment that's known as a metabolic dome. That dome, it was designed to float on the surface of the water. And as the dolphins were breathing inside it, a computer measured how much carbon dioxide and oxygen they were breathing out, did some fancy calculations, and finally, in 2012, determined exactly how much fish these energetic dolphins need to eat every day to do things like this. And that research showed us these dolphins need to eat somewhere around 15,500 calories every day. Wow. That's around 80 herring or about 62, 63 salmon. So for all of us, if we wanted to keep up with these dolphins, we'd have to eat about 188 apples every day or 50 cheeseburgers. Yeah, these dolphins, they need access to a lot of fish, which is why it's so important that these dolphins are acting as ambassadors for their species, helping us learn more about how we can better protect dolphins off of our coast and figure out how to help them best. And of course, it's with your help that, again, we are learning so much more. Each and every time people tell us about seeing any of these whales, dolphins, or porpoises off our coast and reporting that sighting to wildwhales.org, which is also known as the BC Cetacean Sightings Network, it's giving us a much better idea of how we can help to keep our oceans healthy. So keep these dolphins in mind anytime you're near the water here in British Columbia this summer. Of course, summer's always a great time to spend some time in that around these splashy animals. So I'd like to take a moment to say thank you on behalf of all of us here for joining us at the Vancouver Aquarium today. Because we are a self-supporting non-profit organization dedicated to the conservation of aquatic life, your admission, if you purchase anything at our cafe or gift shop, all of that goes right back to supporting research programs like that metabolic research and conservation programs like wildwhales.org or BC Cetacean Sightings Network. So to have myself, the trainers, and the dolphins, here is one last beautiful splash.
Down there eating.
So once again, thanks so much everyone for joining us here today. If you do have any further questions about dolphins, research, or what you can do to help out the BC Cetacean Sightings